Okay.
We're rolling.
Okay, we're rolling on this. You're listening to the. Maybe we can turn this down a little bit. You're listening to the director's commentary of. What's the name of this video? You remember?
I guess so it's the White Rainbow
Mega Mix?
Mega Mix, yeah. Mega Jam.
Mega Jam Mix.
Video Jam.
I'm Adam Forkner, White Rainbow, and I'm here with E-Rock.
I'm E-Rock, and today is October 16th, 2005.
8 p.m. And this is the video that made for the White Rainbow. I'm sorry. Do you want to scratch that from the... You want to start over?
We can edit it afterwards.
You really want to do that? Let's just keep rolling here. Okay. I'm sorry. E-Rock made this video for me for the box set, White Rainbow box, which you're now viewing with the audio commentary track on.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about how the music came together, how the video came together. Maybe a little bit about life.
Just how the whole thing relates.
Yeah, just how the whole thing relates to the bigger picture. Like right now we're looking at the sun. We're
passing into the second phase already.
Yeah, we're kind of passing into the second phase here. The first song was called Native 78. I gave that file to E-Rock.
Over the iChat.
Over iChat, yeah. As an MP3. I gave him 5 songs to choose from to make a video for White Rainbow, and I guess about a month passed.
Mm-hmm.
Or so.
Yeah.
And I thought, maybe he was just, giving me the cold shoulder with
Fucking
the whole
around.
thing. Yeah. Like I don't know what he was doing. But then, a little over a month later, he comes back and he says, well, I used every single one of the songs. And I made something that's 26 minutes long. And I was, of course, floored upon seeing it. Here we are on the second part. We have, what is this? What is this guy? Where'd you find that image, Eric?
I googled yoga until I found someone that looked like they were in the position that was inspired by one of those covers that you had before.
Right.
And so I just needed like a human doing some yoga, and then I just traced.
Now, what's this background? I think I might recognize this background.
Yeah, it was some weird Asian dance troupe that Dave H. showed me online, and so I just took a video off of my monitor of that, and I had altered it I was going to do some visuals for a Church of Psychedelia show, and so I'd started taking that, but it was supposed to be for a Deep Skin show, and then I didn't get the projector in time because I rented it out. It didn't come back in time, so didn't end up using it, but then worked out. I got to remix it some more and kaleidoscoped it out. It's kind of layered some different things.
I'm kind of stoked that it's on this instead.
Yeah, totally. Fits better.
Now we got a second guy on these balls. I love these balls.
Yeah, those are chakras, actually.
Did you do research on chakras for this?
A little bit. I just kind of mostly just went with my intuition.
Oh, here it comes.
Yeah, those are the chakras. But,
right. The head, the body. This is good. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's some classic E-Rock right there. Some really good eyeballs come in there.
The alpha trick, that's a class. The way they get bigger and disappear, that's a classic wildfile technique.
Mm-hmm.
It's originally kind of...
Well, why don't you tell these people a little bit about what Wildfile is, Eric?
Oh yeah, Wildfile's our video crew. It's,
I'm not part of that. Your video crew, right?
Yeah, it's we started it earlier this year with Paper Rad and Corey Archangel. But
and he's beige, right?
Yeah, he's part of the Beige crew.
Oh, that's part of the Beige guy. See, I don't know.
They're like a whole different crew.
Mm-hmm.
Beige Records it's also a programming ensemble. But it's all very complicated.
Oh, I love these patterns, the way they
start to overlap.
Yeah, I think they call it a moire pattern.
Oh, yeah.
When you spin 2 spirals.
I just think of it as like a classic psychedelic kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a classic
Yeah.
psychedelic thing. But I think the illusion is called moire pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's two things that are offset from each other.
Yeah.
You see it on like classic light shows. They'll do it with a overhead projector. They have two copies of this one spiral, and then if you just move the one on top of the other,
Just trips your eyes out.
trips you out, man.
So yeah, for this stuff I was kind of going for well, basically when you gave me the songs, I was just thinking of just trying to have fun with trying to make the most psychedelic video I could come up with.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah. And I remember you came back from New York from that thing, and you were really excited about those older like 70s dudes.
Oh, the video synthesizer stuff.
Yeah. So I was kind of keeping that in mind too.
Right.
The slow progression.
Right. Well, it still amazes me that you used all of the songs instead of just making like one wham bam thank you ma'am. You know, video, it turns into a kind of an epic.
Yeah. Well, once I started getting into it, I just couldn't really stop because I was like, it was hard to combine the different ideas for different all into one song. Because
Right.
all the songs kind of, they kind of go their own way.
Right.
So I thought it would just be better if I just, put each idea I had with a different song instead
Right.
of trying to mash them up.
Right. I just love this part. Now, is this heading into part 3 now?
I don't know, I've never watched this part before.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that looks so good right there.
It like shrinks down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things like when you're, I don't know, sometimes I'd just be up really late and like I did this, I did like these little dudes in Flash, but then I rendered it and I brought it into After Effects to combine it with this other stuff. And you do the chroma key so you can layer it, and then you can get different effects with the chroma key by kind of crunking it out a little bit. But
I have no idea what you're talking about.
oh, okay. Well, chroma key, it's basically like a green screen. Like you
Okay.
See how everything's got the green sheen to it? That's because like I did this background color of green.
Oh, I see.
And so that's why there's like fuzzy around the shapes.
What are these little ovals, these eyeballs?
Um,
Oh, I see where they came from. They're from up there on the top.
yeah, they're kind of like, because that's like a lotus,
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like a spectrum lotus.
Yeah, spectrum
It's
lotus.
kind of growing right now.
And floating away again.
Yeah.
I love that. Very subtle. So this is some of the most subtle E-rock stuff that I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
You're known a lot for kind of crazy, how do I say it? Really
ADD.
ADD style
Yeah.
video stuff. And so, now here comes part 3. Jesus Christ. This always gets me.
Yeah, this part puts me into like a weird trance. Like after watching it for like hours and hours.
If this is your first time watching this, be prepared. Just sit back, because this part just takes you for a long time. This is amazing. I don't know what we're going to talk about, because
We're gonna vibe on it. Yeah, there's like it's like the trance tunnel. It's kind of
Rave Tunnel.
Yeah, rave tunnel.
I used to have a game, I think I've told you this, where I was on PlayStation, where you just had this little weird rave beetle with like a laser gun, and then it played music by
Prodigy.
no, not Chemical Brothers. What's the other one? Crystal Method.
Oh yeah.
Who did the soundtrack to
Crystal
this video
Method.
game, and it was just a rave tunnel that you went through with a car and shot weird bugs with.
Yeah.
And this kind of reminds me of that, but better.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did these slowly. They slowly morph over the course of 10 minutes. They keep changing, and there's like I layered them in different ways, and it changes speeds and things. So it's kind of subtle, but you can still see kind of the Asian dancers in the back. I don't even know where they're from.
Right.
Look like
No, you just heard an
Thais
audio
or-
glitch. That's mine. that just a couple seconds back where the audio kind of drops down in volume like somebody's turning it down. And that's been fixed for the CD version of the song, which I think appears on disc 2 or 3 of the box. Like, I'm not quite sure where it is now. The last song is called, I think I called it Acoustic or something. It's Song 2 is all acoustic guitar source and weird room sounds. Now this song contains, this is a kind of trivia thing, I don't think anybody could really recognize it, but it contains the drum beat from the, at this point, classic The Blow song, Hey Boy.
Oh, yeah.
It's just fading in right now, but of course I affected it so much. But that's kind of giving the propulsive rhythm to this song. I don't know what else I put on top, just guitars or something.
Oh, it's getting pretty deep now.
Yeah, we're going in the zone.
I hope that all the colors come out on the TV, because you only have,
Right.
how many colors do you have on TV? Like 256?
I don't know, yeah.
I made this with like
Millions of
thousands,
colors.
millions.
Yeah, in a
Yeah.
few years we'll come out with the uncompressed version of this.
As soon as they make DVDs that can hold 20 megabyte files, or 20 gig files,
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
those paper ones.
Paper ones?
Yeah, that Sony was making paper CDs.
Wow, weird.
I thought, because they're biodegradable.
That'd be cool.
Or, they're environmentally safe, and you can shred them if you need to.
Yeah, but everyone's CDs, they get like, I guess you use them.
ripped.
Yeah, I guess you only use them for like crappy stuff then. Like
But they could put,
mail.
I don't know, I heard that they could put a lot of gigs on it. We could Google it.
Yeah. Well, not right now because we're running the video.
Right. Well, we could take it off full screen. Well, whatever. Anyway, someday maybe when every TV's got 1 million colors and all DVDs have 40 gigs.
Mm-hmm. It looked good when you were projecting it at the
Yeah.
Zome.
Look pretty
Zome,
good. This
yeah.
looks amazing. This uncompressed. Well, this is even compressed, isn't this?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, it still looks amazing on your computer.
Sometimes people give me shit for this is like maybe a subject we could talk about. They give me shit for making psychedelic stuff and not doing drugs. They say I'm not like making real psychedelic stuff or something.
You've never done drugs. Well, you have done drugs in your life.
Not really, no.
Have you ever done a psychedelic drug?
Mm-mm.
Like you've never done mushrooms or
No.
LSD? I've never taken LSD either, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So here we are watching this total acid trip, and neither of us have taken LSD. I have taken mushrooms, and the first time I did, I was in Japan at a weird psychedelic after hours party where Jeff Fucillo from
Yeah. Irving Claw.
Yeah, Oaken Kite. Is this battery running? Oh, wait.
Maybe.
Oh, anyway. This is a guy from Irving Claw, Hoken Kite, lives in Japan. And I was there with my parents visiting Japan. Uh-oh.
I'll get it.
You got it? Minor technical issue. You have to hit on. Okay, here we go.
In business.
Yeah, sorry, we had to adjust something. Anyway, I was saying that when I took mushrooms, there was a psychedelic light show, like video projection, and we were supposed to play free jazz music, and even the smallest club in Japan has like a full drum set, and it was clear, but I could only find one drumstick, because I had never taken anything like that in my life, and it just really floored me. We went to the guy who set it up's house beforehand to have dinner with everybody who was putting on the show, and he dosed the meal. Because in Japan at that point, mushrooms were legal.
Oh.
And this is like 2002. And
It's changed since then?
Yeah, in 2003 or so they became illegal. Anyway, the videos really tripped me.
Yeah.
And whatever, it was a weird night. Buto dancers, or it was like 3 a.m. There's Buto dancers.
Getting down with the Buto dancers.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This is
so you've never taken a psychedelic drug, but This
Wait, I
trips
took
you
out LSD once, and I just got a craving for football. And,
Really?
And I just wanted to do really conservative things, and it like had a reverse effect on me.
Really?
I went
How,
back.
how old were you?
I joined Cub Scouts. No, I'm just kidding. I'm making this up.
How old were you?
I never actually took it.
Oh, you never did. No.
Just making that up. I thought it'd be
Well,
like
I don't think. I
comical.
think you're right. The issue of needing psychedelics to appreciate psychedelic art, like needing psychedelic drugs. I think that's silly. I think that psychedelic art is psychedelic. You don't need something to make it psychedelic. When you take a psychedelic drugs, driving is psychedelic. So this is just psychedelic on its own. I mean, this is beautiful.
I think it taps into the similar parts of the brain anyway. So it's like
Something, yeah. It's trance-inducing, definitely.
Cause making music can kind of be like
Yeah.
that too. You know, you get into that zone.
Yeah, that's where my music is.
Takes you out of reality or whatever.
What my music really is in kind of a almost dream state, or it is in a dream state.
Because when you're making it, don't you kind of get into that
Oh,
zone
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
like...
I'm kind of having a hard time talking right now because it's so trippy. I'm just staring.
Because you keep looking in the middle.
Yeah, and it just keeps growing, and your eyes just...
Yeah. And if you try to look at the outside, it's like...
I mean, this is
kinda hard.
such a beautiful thing, Eric. So how long did you spend on this? I mean, once you got this, were you just like, holy shit? Were you just tripping yourself?
I actually spent a lot more time on the second part because there's so many little like
Right,
details.
Movement.
This one, it was kind of more about just setting up the... like once I'd made the animation, I rendered out like, you know, maybe a 5-minute version of this. And then I layered that in After Effects and like changed the speeds and the
Right.
different types of I chroma keyed it out so that certain colors would drop out,
Right.
so that way the circles underneath would come through,
Right.
and then certain parts of that would drop out
Oh,
too,
yeah.
so that way you can't really predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you have it slowly
beautiful.
change, and like it starts to glow right now. You see it's like
Yeah.
things are starting to glow a little bit.
Yeah.
That would be the glow effect in After Effects,
Okay.
which is animated, so it's going to start glowing more and more as the deeper we get into the tunnel.
Yeah. So anyway, let's listen to this for a second. I know this will be very lo-fi.
It's like crackling.
Yeah, we just... Anyway,
When did you start getting into making music that was like this
psychedelic?
kind of trancey,
Trancey?
drony music?
Well, it's been a
Drony and
progression since I was a kid, and I listened. When I was a kid, my dad would put on a tape in my room, and one side was like Ravi Shankar, the other side was Brian Eno and John Hassel, Possible Musics. I think it might be a part of the Ambient series,
Yeah.
or I know it's a Possible Music series, and it's like the trippiest, weird harmonized trumpet and weird samples of ethnic instruments. And so I had exposure to ambient music, which when I was sick, you know, when you're a kid and you're sick and maybe you took some cold medicine, your world just turns really good. You know, you're sitting there in a kind of semi-dream state again, probably some sort of alpha state or theta state, a brainwave state, and you just kind of drift off and have these kids. So that was really influential in a lot of I remember that experience. And so, I mean, I've played music, but I almost feel kind of like ambient music isn't even music. It's like something, it hits me differently than, say, when I listen to music on the radio or I listen to a rock band or hip-hop or anything that I listen to. Ambient music kind of, because it's so related to space, like where you are in the environment, it kind of blends in with the environment. I kind of feel like it's something almost outside of the musical realm. I'm still making music that, so I've always kind of had that. And then I guess in college when I met Franz Pritchard, we started Yume Beatsu, and he was from Eugene, and he had an understanding of the Grateful Dead and African musics and all sorts of different out there musics, and I was coming from a more punk background. When we started that band, we kind of really immediately got into weird noise and experimental and psychedelic musics. And from there, we just kind of exploded out into that. From that, I mean, just listening to Pink Floyd, and I used to listen to a lot of academic 20th century stuff when I was in college, just going through that, like listening to Cage and Stockhausen and the avant-garde. And then, I don't know, I think that I've always been into like delay pedals and, whoa, God, that just kills me.
That's a sample from that that Flickr video that Tony Conner.
Oh my God.
Like changed the speed on it.
Are you kidding me?
No, it is a sample from the Tony Conrad's Flickr. You know that?
Where did you get it?
I have a DVD.
You
or
do?
bootleg of it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, better not send one of these DVDs to Tony then.
I don't think he'd mind. It's pretty switched. I think he'd be stoked.
Yeah, he'd be stoked. I think he seems like a...
It's like, it's like half a second of a...
All accounts say that Tony Conrad's very cool, so...
A couple seconds of one of his videos from
man.
the 70s, I don't think.
So this is basically the end of this part.
Yeah.
And does this...
I think that's around the time I met you and you started You Made Bits too. I was listening to like tons of ambient music too.
Yeah.
Just like every day, like never had it. I never turned off my stereo when I was at home.
Well, in the 90s we had such a huge flourishing of like ambient rock music and space rock
the
and all
Bliss
that
Out
stuff.
series and
Yeah,
all
they
that
had
stuff.
Bliss Out and Cranky and all these...
Bug Skull.
And yeah, and in town even, we had all these psychedelic bands. And Portland was kind of one of the centers for that. And so,
Transparent Thing. Remember them?
yeah.
I saw them play, like one of the first bands I saw in the town.
Wow.
With Honey's band, I think.
Tra-la-la?
Yeah.
I'm glad that Tra-la-la made it onto the DVD commentary. Yeah, so I mean, growing up doing that, and that really was influential, and then from there, it's been a rapid progression. And then to make pure ambient music, I used to just make guitar ambient music with like lots of looping pedals, but then once I got into making music on a computer, really the program Ableton Live, which kind of to me was kind of like having as many guitar loop sampler like Frippertronics that I wanted, channels as I wanted, all going at once, and just to be able to play with samples in that sort of way really fit into the way I was already thinking about creating loop-based ambient music and washes and stuff, and so that's when I really got deep on making pure ambient music.
We're even using Ableton Live to record this conversation.
Yeah.
And you got sponsored by them for
I
your
didn't.
Zone
I
thing.
just got a discount. For
That's like a
making
sponsorship almost.
I got a discount, an institutional discount for my installation, which this video piece really worked well in that installation, by the way.
Did anyone have any seizures?
Mm-mm.
No.
I think people just liked it. There's a lot of people that just sit in there and just watch it for a long time. Because I would just loop this part.
Oh, yeah.
And they would just sit in there forever.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Oh, we're reaching the end of the tunnel. It looks really glowing.
Oh, man.
Whoa. It's turning into liquid.
It's
now.
really beautiful. I mean, it's kind of like womb-like, and I kind of feel like it's extremely enveloping as you could be. It's kind of got the 2001 Space Odyssey thing going on, but just like forever, which is the coolest. Because you always wanted that part of Space 2001.
Oh, yeah, that's the
to
best
go
part.
on further.
I watched that for the first time this year.
Really?
I didn't watch the whole movie. I fast-forwarded through most of it. I watched the whole movie in fast-forward, actually, because I didn't have much time, and I wanted to watch it before this, as like a reference for this other animation I was making. That Beck video that I made with Wildfile.
Right.
But isn't there like that last DVD that Load put out that has a force field animation? It's kind of a little bit like this.
Yeah, but I think actually those guys are using the actual video synthesizers that were being used in the 70s. I think they went up to one of the old video synthesizers. And
that one's kind of cool too. Those guys are awesome.
Anybody who likes this and doesn't know about the kind of force field video collective should really go and check out their stuff, because they do some really funny and also very, honestly, psychedelically trippy
Yeah, these
video
crazy
things.
stuff.
Like really, really basic ideas done really, really well, hypnotically.
Yeah, they're a
Some of
big
their
fan.
stuff is kind of like almost like nauseating, but then some of it's just so trippy. It's like borderline. I love
Have you
it.
seen the ones with like the weird robots that are like just like it's like and there's like a fur ball sitting behind a desk? Have you seen like those ones?
No, but I did see
That's
one that was
just-
just like these grapes that they just zoom in on over and over again. Makes you feel really weird. And then it goes. Anyway,
So the
This is-
audio on this one at the end, I think we lost. But at the end of the audio for the song, you had like really quiet things. for a
yeah,
while.
it's just rain for like a minute and a half.
I didn't even know it was rain. I thought it was like.
Did you
crackling.
lose it?
Yeah, it disappears. There's like a couple seconds.
whatever.
Where there's no audio.
Okay, then
Okay.
this. Now, what's the story on this? I remember when you
This
first
is
made
lasers.
the video. It was 26 minutes long, and then we both were joking that it'd be sweet if you made a full half hour.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you went back, and then you called me and you said, "Adam, I made it a half hour." Now, what
I
is
need-
this?
Well,
This
I
is
made
like
you
the
send
last
me
part.
another song.
Oh
which I
yeah.
need more of it.
This is actually a Tussle, the band Tussle, remix for their I don't know if it's ever coming out remix album, and this is actually something that's I didn't send them to put on their remix album
Wow. Yeah, this was.
because it was just long and boring, and you cut it, right?
Yeah.
God, this is so trippy. How did you make this?
Well, I actually it's like a weird Mumble Boy made it. He does the VJ thing. If you check out mumbleboy.com, you can see a bunch of animations. He's somebody I've worked with for a long time. It's like a good friend of mine lives in New York, and he made those like lines that are moving around for one of his files that he would VJ with. So I took those and altered them, and I'd layer them over.
Did you zoom them in?
Yeah, I zoomed them in pretty heavily, and then I layered them
Oh, see, because that's tough.
like really.
And is there an image in the background, or is it just more and more lines?
Yeah, there's like another little animation I made in the background. It was just kind of a test thing. There was like a monkey in like a monkey in water, like sitting in water. It was like a picture I think Ian took in Japan of like the monkeys
Right.
bathing in water.
Oh
and-
yeah, the monkeys, they take the bath.
Yeah,
And
and
the
then I
hot bath.
put like the water effects on them where that makes the ripples.
So that's in the background.
It's a bathing monkey with ripples, but you can't really see it. It's not there anymore, I don't think. I think I
It's over.
put something else in the background now. I can't remember what it is now because it's like all tweaked out.
So this is how we made the video actually a half hour long. It's kind of weird, repetitive, unfinished Tussle remix that gets really trancy. Which actually, it sounds better with this animation than it ever did by itself. So I really
The song is so
appreciate it.
intense.
It's like the most intense moment of Tussle, just repeated over and over with a lot of
With a
phaser.
flange.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the Boredom's like Super Route 6, like when they do like they run the whole mix of all the drums through the flange and the chorus and the flange, which
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of.
Whoa. Well, this is great.
Whoa. This one, like, I got kind of ill when I was making it, like, after, like, looking at it for a long time. Like, sometimes I'd get dizzy.
Well, because you'd be moving it yourself, right?
Yeah.
You'd be watching it. Oh, yeah.
And, I don't know, yeah.
This part I kind of had to leave out of my installation because it was
Too much.
Yeah, it was too much for some people. They'd be like, oh, after like 25 minutes of just kind of tripping out, and then this sort of happens.
Yeah, this one's not mellow like the
No.
rest of it.
And
This one is there to, like,
wake you
people
up
are
at
watching
the
it stoned. This is the one that kind of bugs them out.
Yeah,
at
this is
end,
the
I think.
tripper's treat
Yeah.
at the end. Like if you make it all the way through the tunnel, you get the tripper's treat.
Yeah.
I love the concept of a tripper's treat.
Yeah.
Like the quiet spot that's like 10 minutes on a CD, and then something weird happens, like something whispers or something.
And then
Yeah.
like at the end, like Ferris Bueller pops out and he's like, "Are you still there? Are you still watching?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be the first tripper's treat.
We should put we should like recreate that
Because we
scene.
were still watching, because we wanted to see more.
We should have a tripper's treat, like if you're still listening to the commentary, like this
Yeah.
far into it.
Yeah, and then you get. I don't know, what do you get if you still.
Play like a little little tune. Wildfire represent.